basketball fans, welcome back. So Pascal Siakam was heartbroken by the Raptors' attempts to trade him. So Pascal Siakam thought he could see his career with the Raptors, but was heartbroken when the franchise made it clear that they wanted him gone. So I have from making a video talking about the Pascal Siakam trade to the Pacers, but I just want to emphasize something on this video. It's a business at the end of the day, and Masai Ujiri made sure to get rid of all the people that won the championship in 2019, and he really was deliberately wanting to trade Pascal Siakam. I know there's a video floating around of him crying, saying that he's a homegrown guy, I followed his journey. The thing is, if Masai Ujiri really wanted Pascal Siakam on the team, he would have at least given him a very good deal, a team-friendly deal. Let's say, for example, $100 million contract. Give him a 4-year, $100 million, or a 4-year, $85 million, something of that nature, so that he can be able to keep him part of the team. But the thing is, the Raptors are rebuilding, and there's a reason as to why they don't want Siakam in there, because they want to test out a rebuild and try to see if they can use the core of Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, and Gary Trent Jr. They're trying to test out if they're going to have a successful rebuild with those group of guys, and also tank for better talent. So that's what they're trying to do, and Pascal Siakam was an impediment to that. So I'm reacting to an article from Fadeaway World. So as I just continue, I'll just be interjecting like that. So Pascal Siakam was the last remnant of the 2019 Raptors title winning squad, still playing in Toronto, and he wanted to spend the rest of his career with the franchise. So before the Pascal Siakam trade, Masai Ujiri and the Raptors pulled the trigger on a trade to send OG Anunoby to the New York Knicks, and in return they got RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quigley. So Siakam was the last guy for that title winning squad. So, and one thing about what Pascal Siakam, he wanted to spend the rest of his career in the franchise. If you take a page out of DeMar DeRozan's book, you'll understand that the Raptors, it's a business at the end of the day, and they want to, they are very radical in how they do things. After the LeBronto era, what the Raptors decided to do, they fired Dwayne Casey, who was the coach of the year. They fired him after getting swept by the Cavs. Even despite winning the Coach of the Year award, they still fired him. They traded away their best player, DeMar DeRozan, for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. So you could see the Raptors cared about winning now at that time. So they didn't care about trying to run it back with DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan was actually loyal to the franchise. There are multiple times in free agency where he would have left, but he chose to stay with Toronto. But Toronto, they're not that trustworthy of a franchise, because they're very radical in how they work. So Pascal Siakam, the writing was on the wall. The team was going to move in a different direction, and they really needed to offload him quickly. So that wouldn't have happened if he wanted to stay in the rest of the career in there. So even though Pascal Siakam is in a good spot in his future, playing alongside Tyrese Haliburton, Michael Grange revealed that Siakam was heartbroken and bewildered by the Raptors' attempt to move him since the summer. So you could see, I made a video talking about the fact that the Raptors ghosted Pascal Siakam. They didn't want to give him any extension. It's like they were really trying to force him out of the franchise. They actually wanted the trade request. It was a strategy so that they could see if they can get a trade request from him. So that was one thing that I've seen even with teams. If they don't want you no longer on the team, if they don't want you any time to be on the team, they would rather ask you nicely that they want to trade you. If you have a no trade clause, they have to ask you. They have to ask you if you allow it. But if your contract doesn't have a no trade clause, they'll just trade it. That's the same thing that they did to DeMar DeRozan. So they didn't want to ask Pascal Siakam nicely. They just wanted to tell him that you're not going to renew your contract, you're going to be a free agent, and you're just going to leave. But the Raptors, being the people that they are, they don't want to lose him for nothing, So they had just had to trade him. So by the time the NBA Summer League rolled around, it was clear from various league sources Toronto was exploring trade opportunities, making the situation awkward enough that Siakam chose not to come to Las Vegas and train alongside most of the Raptors' other returning veterans and meet the incoming rookies. Those close to him say he was both bewildered and heartbroken to various degrees by the turn of events. So Siakam wanted to get a big contract in Toronto and see out his playing days as a member of the franchise he's ever known. Masai Ujiri didn't have the same plans, but he managed to get a decent package for Siakam. What did I say? Masai Ujiri did not want to pay Pascal Siakam, and that's the reason why he and the organization ghosted him. As much as he can cry crocodile tears here, saying that, we're gonna miss him. We know we got him from the Basketball Beyond Borders. Basketball Without Borders. We tried to bring him in. He won the Most Improved Player of the award. I've known him since. Nah, you didn't want to pay him. You didn't want to give him that max contract. You didn't want to pay him north of 137 million or 45 million, but you just said, let me just trade him away so that you can just get rid of him. So Masai Ujiri and the Raptors did not want to pay this guy. So, and they just decided to, trade him away for Bruce Brown, Jordan Nora, and 3 first-round picks for an expiring contract. So the Pacers, as I said, they were just taking like a huge gamble, and the Raptors did not want to see Pascal Siakam on the team. So, but Pascal Siakam, he meant a lot to the Raptors. He got drafted in 2016. He played with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. He got a lot of experience, especially playing alongside Kawhi Leonard. There's that game one that he in the 2019 finals where he scored 30 points, which was actually quite exemplary. I remember watching that game; it was just awesome. Siakam averaged 17.4 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists over his Raptors career, and even making an All-NBA and All-Star team. So he was a genuine argument for being one of the best, homegrown talents of all time. But you could see DeMar DeRozan was like the best. DeMar DeRozan will forever retire the greatest Raptor in Raptor history. So the thing is, instead of Pascal Siakam holding negative feelings, Siakam should be excited for having opening a new chapter in Indiana. Looks like the Toronto Raptors never wanted to have him on the team in the first place, even the beginning of the season. So even him having that 22 points game productivity like that, and knowing for a fact that the franchise doesn't want you, really shows that this guy was dedicated. Even if the franchise didn't want him, he still poured his heart out and played. But I feel like the Raptors are snakes. Masai Ujiri is a liar, and he's the same guy as he's just acting the same way as Daryl Morey, the same way James Harden had that outburst on Daryl Morey. It's the same thing that the Pascal Siakam will have had on Masai Ujiri, because Pascal Siakam, he just got deceived like that. And giving your skill set to an organization, just trying to see if you can try to be loyal. He never wanted to leave Toronto. He was a homegrown talent. But what did they decide to do? They tried to trade him away. The Toronto Raptors will not be able to attract anything close to a superstar player outside of Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry. They'll never attract any of them in free agency. Their free agency is actually quite quiet. So I hope they're just happy playing with Dennis Schroeder in there, because that's what they do. They just trade away their homegrown talent. They just get in people there. They just try to draft and they just trade them away. And Masai Ujiri never wanted to give Pascal Siakam that max deal, and that's the reason why he left. So I feel for Pascal Siakam, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm pretty happy that he's gone to another organization that at least maybe he can be able to get a team friendly deal, on an 85 or even a $90 million contract, or even a 100 one. If he's able to get a 25 million per year, it can be a very good deal, because he can be able to play there for 4 years. Maybe he can be eligible for that supermax, that veteran extension. So I'm just waiting to see how he's going to play in that Indiana setup. So if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this whole situation, and I'm out. Peace.